Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you Grey Fox versus Tuukkaraski in round 2 of the second Steel Division 2 championship. Today they are playing on Siedlce, and on the red team on our left we have Grey Fox using the 26 Guards Rifles and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue team, playing on the Axis side, we have Tuukkaraski using the 14th Infantry and the Vanguard deployment type. So these are two names I'm not terribly familiar with in the competitive scene. I know Grey Fox's name, but I don't think I've ever seen Tuukkaraski before. So it'll be really interesting to see how these guys perform. 26th Guards Rifles in the hands of Grey Fox is bringing in with a Maverick deployment type. Now Maverick deployment type isn't something you see terribly often, mainly because it gives you the least amount of points throughout a standard game than any other deployment type. So that's why you don't tend to see it, because if the game drags into phase C, you're at the biggest disadvantage of any deployment type there is to offer. But the 26th can certainly suit the playstyle with the things like the KV-85s. 14th Infantry, pretty standard to see them Vanguard. You can also make them flatline or even balanced. Probably one of the infantry divisions that really does suit a balanced deployment type due to the Tigers. Either way, let's have a quick look at some of these deployments. Looks like this Ersatztruppen unloaded early by accident. Ersatztruppen 45mm heading to the top side. Another 45mm and Ersatztruppen further down. We've got Ersatztruppen heading to the center with an IG-290. Flammenwerfer Grenadier heading to the center, bottom side of the map. And then we have the Flammenwerfer Begleit Pioneers and the Pioneer Führer heading in on the bottom, supported by a 45mm IG that have deployed really far back. We've got the Tiger there, going to be moving forwards. Flakvilling also unloaded with the Commandant. Stoke 3 Oberlustkamp coming in. That's the Ace version. I think the only difference really is the insignia on the side of that Ace. But one thing that Grey Fox definitely had to worry about here is these Begleit Pioneers. They are scary, that's for sure, especially if he hasn't brought in much close range infantry himself. But it looks like he's got plenty here. He's got 2 Flamers, 3 Gavardia, a leader, 45mm and Faustniki. Interesting to see Faustniki being used, actually. That's something that I don't tend to see that often, but they do have the very good stealth, so they are able to sneak up on unsuspecting armor. M15 on this bottom side to cover for AA. ISU 152 heading into the center with a couple of Gavardia and a GV. Conrotti. There was an OB25 deployed further down here. 45mm on the top, 2 SG-43s pushing forwards, covered by a sniper and an IS-1, and the Flamers unloading on this very top side. Here we see the engagement underway. Begleit Pioneers Flammenwerfer easily dismantling the first unit of Gavardia. We've got some Flammenwerfer on Ogdemachiki action going on here. Looks like Tuukkaraski basically trying to outnumber any squad he sees. If he can get the better of the Ogdemachiki, his Begleits are set to just annihilate these Gavardia completely. 3-star Begleits are so good. Just got to make sure they stop in position. Flamethrowers are going to be making the Gavardia move all over the place. We see this Stosstroop also kills off the AT gun on this bottom side. It's going to come under fire from the M15. Does want to avoid that for sure. These Gavardia are going to try and make a runner. One of them gets killed by the grenade. The other one pinned down. Not surrendering just yet because of the GV Comrotti there. Pack 40 coming in to set up on the edge of this tree line, but maybe a little premature trying to go that far forward. It's going to have to unload it early as the Chernos are on the field. Faustniki have found their way into a flanking position on that Pack 40. And honestly, they might be able to clean that up. The Faustniki there in a really, really awkward position for Tuukkaraski. Tiger E moving in to help engage the Chernos. There is a KV-1E moving up the road here. See the Gavardia moving ahead of those. And the Tiger kill one of those before it unloads. It does indeed. Yak-9B already coming in from Grey Fox, one of the prime units of the 26th. Can it clean up the Tiger? It does indeed. Very nice kill indeed. JU-88 forced back by the AA of Grey Fox. Lovely kill though. Pack 40, however, still presenting a threat, sorry, to the KV-1E. Will it get the kill? Gets a penetration. The Pack 40 only on 1 health, so if the KV manages to get another shot in, that'll be fine. But nope, the Pack 40 does so first. And the KV-1E goes down. The Gavardia now in a rough position, trying to push on two Begleits in heavy cover. Another Begleit Pioneer joining the other on this bottom side. This Begleit Pioneer already scoring many, many kills. And a second one on the way. These infantry squads at the start of the game are what can make a Vanguard 14th Infantry incredibly strong. If you use these correctly, you can do really, really well with the MP44s they have to offer. And here, it looks like the Begleits are just out of MP44 range. If they were a little bit closer, they could do so much more damage. Surprised that Tuukkaraski isn't going for that, but he is bringing in the Begleit Grenadiers. And I tell you what, at range, these are just as scary as Begleit Pioneers because they have MP44s and MGs as well. We're seeing the Stug 3 Oberluskamp trying to engage the ISU 152. The ISU 152 does have a very slow reload rate, but should be able to bounce plenty of shots in the front armor there. If Tuukkaraski can get that to hide and then move it forwards again when the ISU 152 moves up, might be able to get a kill there, which would be really good. Begleit Pioneers still engaging these Gavardia in very bad shape. We've got Gavardia coming in Zis 42s from Grey Fox there. Really interesting to see people bringing in Gavardia squads and Zis 42s. Maybe it's just because of like a limiting factor on transports, but like in the early game, that is not something you really want to see. Gavardia looking for the grenade onto the half track. Do manage to find it. Pins down the Begleits slightly, which is definitely a good hit. But these Chernos, as they try and push up against the MG42s, do get mown down. KV-1E is working its way up. The Pack 40 has been cleaned up. Flakveling has joined the crew on this bottom side. Surprised to see that the IG and the 45mm aren't trying to push up to join this engagement further up. Currently, things actually in favour of Grey Fox. Grey Fox is going to be bringing in some infantry to the top side to put some pressure on here. I really like this move, actually. Really, really smart move. Because it's going to take away the pressure on the bottom side as Tuukkaraski is forced to react to the play on the top side. So far so good from both players. Really putting the hurt on each other, that's for sure. Gavardia trying to push forwards there. Do take damage from that infantry gun. Ooh, Stug 3 coming up the road, engaging the KV-1E. That's going to be a kill. Stug 3 does take a penetration. T-34s are like, nope, we're off that road. Maybe go for the close range engagement through the light cover. If they're supported by some infantry, it could work. Su-76M, oh, that's in a risky position. Might get sniped by the Stug 3. The Stug 3, it's not firing. I think it's being given a move order, or it maybe just doesn't have line of sight. It might be because there's no infantry on the edge here, so we can't actually see the Su-76M because the Stug 3 naturally has pretty bad optics. Flakveling there, taking down the Yak-9B, almost causes it to crash into it, but not quite. Begleit's now having a go at the Gavardia in the open, but the T-34Es with both of their machine guns and HE on target will do a reasonable amount of damage to the Begleits over time, especially if the Begleits decide to walk forwards like that. Very dangerous move from Tuukkaraski. Yep, infantry on the move. Take extra damage, boys. Try to avoid it at all costs. IG-290 coming in to help cover the center. Ju-88 with the 10 50-kilogram bombs coming in for Tuukkaraski. Now, this didn't really work once, so I'm surprised he's going for it again, but does manage to get the bombs off. Will probably pin the Gavardia. I don't expect them to do too much damage. Only 1 damage there. I don't think this Ju-88 is very good at all. I was trying to zoom in on it there, but the camera didn't want to clip, so sorry about that. Either way, T-34's now pushing through. The Stug has been killed. Looks like it pushed forwards here. Yep, did get taken out. Now lies as a wreck next to the Tiger, but the Flakveling at close range just annihilated that T-34E. Incredible. This one managing to push all the way through. Will find itself a squad of Begleit Grenadiers. But there is, of course, a Stug down the road, an IG down the road, and the 45mm AT gun. Now, he's probably as surprised as I am to see that there are units here. But in this case, Tuukkaraski is going to save his bacon a little. Or at least the bacon of the Light Grenadiers. Su-76 now engaging the flak filling. Good move there. The Stoss troop now moving up though to look for shots onto some of this infantry. The MP-44s engaging the Gvardia in the open will do quite a lot of damage, that's for sure. But can't really afford to stand in the way of the T-34E for too long, because that will definitely do a lot of damage over time. But this Su-76 looking for that kill. The Chernos further up have managed to push onto the flank of Tuukkaraski, securing the 13-11 for the time being. IG-290 in a good position to try and cut down some of these squads. The IS-1 now moving forwards to deal with that. Some Ersatztruppen coming in from Tuukkaraski. Definitely going to have trouble dealing with Chernos at range. More Chernos for the top side. The Grey Fox supported by a KV-1E. So definitely putting pressure on across the map, Grey Fox. And I really do like to see it. He's got his Maverick deployment type. He's just moved into Phase B. So he's going to have a really nice income advantage now for a good 10 minutes. And I really would like to see Grey Fox exploit that lead. Try and take as much ground as possible right now. None of this infantry is technically a threat to the T-34s of Grey Fox at the moment, so that's quite nice for Grey Fox. This flak filling forced back for the time being by the Su-76, but not likely to get killed off anytime soon. ISU-152 looks like it went for the AP shot onto the Ersatztruppen, but missed. Pak-40 now going to be trying to engage the ISU-152. Does need to be careful, because the ISU-152 will bounce standard rounds at range, whilst being able to launch back HE rounds, 152mm HE rounds, which are quite potent indeed. T-34E melting some Ersatztruppen there. Chernos now running forwards. Again, infantry on the move, taking lots of damage, but in this case, Grey Fox just trying to get them into cover ASAP. Oh, the Pak-40, it did take out the ISU-152. Nicely done. Ju-88 coming in for the bombing strike onto the T-34E. Does take it out as well. Great airstrike there. Great kill from the Pak-40. Slices down some of Grey Fox's armor on this bottom side, and the Stug 3 takes out the M15 as well. Meanwhile, however, Grey Fox getting a commanding position here with the IS-1. And the Chernos now making a push onto the Ersatztruppen. SG-43 also helping out with that, and the KV-1E to follow up. M15 coming in to support the IS-1 to stop it from being killed by that cluster bomber in the future. Su-76M did manage to get some pinning shots onto the Ersatztruppen there. But I think the best way to use something like an Su-76M is to fire on things that you can see. Because if you're within 1,500 meter range, the Su-76M can track enemy units with its radio, which is really nice. So things like Stugs, you can actually kill over time with an Su-76. So in this case, starting to engage the Ersatztruppen here is really good news. Ju-88, oh, free strike there onto the KV-85. Misses the mark completely though. Was going for the KV-85 that it last saw on the road here. But now the Stug getting involved. Will be able to reload before the KV-85. Gets the kill. Very nicely done. These Stugs at closer range can be deadly. And there just kind of proves that. The 122mm off map. Ooh, that's in a risky spot. Did Tuukkaraski see that? Because I would be moving forward my Stug very fast if I did to try and get that kill. You do not want that off map to land on your face. This is quite a condensed area of infantry. So a good off-map strike could certainly turn this around. Avto's now rushing down on this bottom side. Stug 3 misses its first shot. It's going to find the second. One Avto down. He doesn't want to have to unload these Avtos in the open. That would be really rough. But then again, he also doesn't want to lose them all before they unload. So he's in a bit of a predicament here. And the Light Grenadiers, well, they're going to just annihilate the squad even if it does unload at closer range. So yeah, bringing in the Avtos here, I think a little bit premature. Would have been nice to time that with the off-map. Maybe some smoke from the Su-76M to allow them to get down the road. but neither we saw. Now the Ersatztruppen here trying to push up. The SG-43s can be pretty powerful. Almost as powerful as MG-42s at range, honestly. Especially with extra veterancy like that. Or the IS-1 currently being engaged by the Stug 3. Again, sort of a mid to short range engagement between a Stug 3 and another armoured vehicle. Stug 3s just do so damn well in this scenario. Does miss its shot though. IS-1 does not. And the IS-1 gets that kill, nicely done. Cherno still sitting pretty in those buildings. Pack 40, can it kill the KV-1E? It's using APCR currently. APCR on this patch only had 1 damage, now has slightly more, but yep, in this tournament, only 1 damage on the APCR there. The KV-1E is going to go down eventually to a standard round after it ran out of APCR shots. Cherno's forced back by the Ersatztruppen. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, things not looking great for Grey Fox. That infantry that he brought in, allowing it to be killed like that, really did open up this bottom side. He did actually end up losing the Stug here, though. That looks like that went down. Here comes the off-map. Not quite hit the mark. I guess it could kill the Pack 40 and the Flakverling, which would be really good kills, actually. But the Begleit Grenadiers and Ersatztruppen being able to push up like this is really, really rough. The ISU-152 can certainly help engage infantry that cross in the open. But cleaning out the Ersatztruppen and Begleits here is going to be priority number 1. Ooh, nice kill there onto the leader at least. Takes that out. That's going to make the Commandant redundant for the time being. Gavardia on their way. We've got another KV-85 here as well that will be joining the IS-1 shortly. I'm still a little bit concerned about this IS-1. The M15 was brought in to stop airstrikes, but it's a little far back, so the IS-1 will probably still die to an airstrike from the Ju-88 cluster when it comes in. Another Stug on the way. So far, I think Tuukkaraski has been getting good value out of his Stugs, even though some have been dying. Well, most of them have been dying. But trading 1-for-1 with Stugs against things like KV-85s is pretty good, because a KV-85 is 95 points, a Stug 3 is 70 points. And if he can manage to get to Phase C, well, Tuukkaraski will be back at a advantage again in terms of income. This Ju-88, it went for the KV-85, not the IS-1, and pays the price. M15 shoots that down. Nice kill indeed. Gavardia might get overrun by both of these Ersatztruppen. It would be good if Grey Fox could try and stabilize the top side with his Gavardia and push back there, because he's currently still holding the 13 to 11. Even though he has lost a lot of ground on the bottom side. This is quite a large salient, but there's not really that many flags that Tuukkaraski is gaining by pushing this bottom side. This is the only flag on this crossroad that Tuukkaraski has taken offensively. Ju-88 now being used by Tuukkaraski to prevent the Gavardia on the top side from pushing forwards. It's going to be pretty rough for the Gavardia if they get into the town, though, because of the double Pioneer SVT there. They'll be landing HE grenades all day long. Or Ju-88 on the bottom side. There is no AA down here since it was cleaned up previously. It looks like Grey Fox, relying on the 2 M15s in Phase A, hasn't brought in any more AA since. This is going straight for the ISU-152. Nope, changes his mind. Goes for the KV-85. That should be a free kill. Yep, goes down. Ju-88. Second kill to its name. Stug 3. Going to try and help out with the Gavardia. But ISU-152. Going to make life difficult. Also an Andrusha joining the club on the bottom side. Already got the off-map here. Guess the Andrusha would actually be pretty nice for cleaning up the Stugs and maybe killing that Flakverling. If an Andrusha strike lands on near the Stug 3 right now, it could potentially kill both of these and the Flakverling. That'd be really, really nice. Well, looks like the IS-1 has been killed by the Tiger. The Tiger's going to be shooting also at the Su-76M there. Pack 40 engaging with its AP shell. Su-76 does go down. Gavardia squad on the top side also dying. ISU-152. Does that just not have line of sight? I assume it cannot see the Stug 3 in cover here. It's taking damage from it. Otherwise, surely it would be firing back. goes down. Nicely done by Tuukkaraski. Takes that out. More resources being wasted on this bottom side. This M15 does not want to be that far up. If that gets killed now, that is really, really rough. Oh, it goes down in one shot as well. Oh, it's painful. Because now, another cluster bomber going to take out the next KV-85. Yak 9B, however, on the side of Grey Fox, looking to return the favour onto these heavy tanks. Does manage to get all the cluster bombs off. Will the second lot get the kill? No, they don't. Tiger actually survives this time around. Now the KV-85 coming down the road. Constantly fired at by these Stugs. Just must not have line of sight at all. No infantry on the edge here. The Andrusha is firing in. It's good to see. Oh, it's coming straight on top of the flagpilling, even right next to the Tiger as well. It'd be really, really good if you get the Stug 3G kill. Or even just the flagpilling. There we go, the flagpilling goes down. Oh, and he kills the Tiger. Really nice job. This Andrusha, perfect. Takes out the Stug with the last rocket. Oh, lovely stuff. Siedlce's coming in straight into off-map as well. Oh, very nice timing. But he needs to get some stuff in here to take advantage of the kills he just got. Even if he assumed that he didn't get the kills, it's still important that he pushes onto this ASAP. Because those units that would be hit by the Andrusha would be forced to fall back. And he's under a lot of pressure on the top side, so pushing back on the bottom side would be a great move right now. I think Grey Fox has actually been doing a good job of that so far. He's kind of been dictating where to push. I just feel like on the bottom side he's definitely let a lot of units die unnecessarily so far. Oh, counter battery immediately from a Tuukkaraski there. The SK-100, SK-18 100mm, looking for the kill onto the Andrusha. That is so cheeky. Look at that. Will he hit the mark? I don't think he will. Grey Fox already moving it forwards. But damn. Very cheeky indeed. Sniper still helping out with the Siedlces at range here. Kavardi are engaging those as well. Now it's 13-11 in favour of Tuukkaraski. The Kavardi and snipers moving across. We have moved into phase C. So technically, Tuukkaraski's Vanguard has the advantage in income once again. Begleit's still alive here. Going to be engaging another Gavardia squad. Throw the grenade. Boom, they're dead. Surrendered. Job done. Stoffstroop with MP44s. They got the two Molotovs here ready to engage the Gavardia. Siedlce currently engaging those. Tuukkaraski could certainly clean that up nicely. Maintain control of this bottom side. 122mm truck. I'm surprised he's just YOLOing that forwards. Obviously he's used up all the strikes, so it doesn't really matter if it dies, but in terms of KD, it's a bit of a waste if he wants his KD to look good. I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you've lost, but regardless. Fusiliers, Begleits, take care of the sniper. IG kills the unit further down. Gonna open up this flag to capture for Tuukkaraski. Yak 9 versus ME109 G4, the M15 helping the Yak 9 win that engagement. Well, I guess the Yak 9 is just going to fall back. But that ME109 not really going to have a chance of shooting down the Yak 9B. Those ME109 G4s really don't have that much damage either, so we'd have a hard time killing that fighter. But having stabilized on the top to mid side of the map, Tuukkaraski looking very strong right now. If you look at the number of units on the map on either side, Tuukkaraski definitely in a better position. It's Ju-88 coming in for the strike onto the KV-85 here. It's going to be hard for the M15 on the left to get line of sight because the Ju-88 S1s do fly very low. And that's going to be a nice kill there with no reply onto the Ju-88. Another piece of heavy armor going down. These KV-85s really not performing the way that Grey Fox would like them to. It's certainly costing him. This has been a very, very awesome back and forth between these two players. Grey Fox taking the initiative on the top side, but now with Tuukkaraski replying with a counterattack, it certainly landed in Tuukkaraski's favour, 14-10. Slowly whittling down those tickets of Grey Fox, and Grey Fox really struggling to get units on the board. 80 points is not that much at all. 110, it's like 4 units of infantry. 80 points is like 3. Assuming, well, it depends on obviously how much your infantry costs. If they're 20-point Gavadi, you can get 4 with the Maverick, of course. But then you could get 5, almost 6 on the side of the Vanguard. So, yeah, there is quite a big difference in 30 points when you consider like it's 2 Erzatstruppen and squads difference or something. Just the infantry availability can really just swing the game completely. And when there's units like this, the Begleit Pioneers still alive on this bottom side, it's just the dream for Tuukkaraski. Anything that bumps into this Begleit on its own is going to die. And this is the best thing about Begleit Pioneer. This kill list on this particular squad is going to be really, really good. They're also now backed up by Pioneer SVTs and the Storstrup MB44s. Look at these Gavadi just get deleted. Oh, it's actually a shame that the Begleit Pioneers wasted their grenade. Oh, Yak 9B coming in for the strike. Does get the bombing strike onto the Storstrup and the Pioneers, but doesn't do any damage. Might go down to the Flak-Filling. Flak-Filling loses line of sight. Not going to be a loss there. ME-109 comes in to try and reply. Issue with fighter bombers and trying to reply with your own fighters is that generally fighter bombers are fast enough to get out before your fighter can engage. The only way you're really going to be able to use a fighter like that is if you have it on the field already, which is sometimes a smart thing to do. Just have it fly around near the back side of the map so that it's already there, ready and waiting to engage. And sometimes they auto engage if your opponent's aircraft gets close enough. But a 15-9 in favor of Tuukkaraski means that there is the double tick going. So it's gone. The clock's gone from 30 minutes, or what was 28 minutes, to 14 minutes now until victory for Tuukkaraski. Or KV-85 there. Oh, it does take a straight shot. Oh, the bounce. That is so lucky. That is so lucky. Su-85 coming up there, saving the day of that KV-85. Because that Tiger was reloading happily. Was waiting to kill that KV-85. Oh, damn. Yeah, the Tiger should have won that engagement after the bounce, but... The Su-85 2-star veterancy. Good to see some veterancy used on these. They have been reduced in price lately, so these are a lot more cost efficient than they once were. And even now, with like a buff to APCR, like in the latest patch, I reckon these Su-85s could get pretty good. Obviously, in this patch, the APCR still only 1 damage. This tournament played before that was introduced. Su-85, can it kill the Stug 3? If it's engaging with APCR, then no, but he's turned off the APCR. AP shells are going to do the job. Really nicely done. Good to see the players knowing these mechanics. The AP really retains its penetration at range compared to the APCR, which is why he had to do that there in order to get a more reliable kill. Fusilier DP, it looked like it was trying to chase down the KV-85 earlier. Didn't quite manage to get the job done. M15 mowing him down with the 250 cows and the 37mm. Oh, Pack 40 there, taking a shot at the M15. Just about managed to get away with that. These AA pieces are so important for Grey Fox to keep alive because the Ju-88 cluster is still out and about and could land on one of these KV-85s at any moment, making it ever easier for the Tigers to do their job. And 2 Tigers now arriving on this top side. We got the 210mm off map that led the charge for the Pioneers here. KV-85 moving in on the Pioneers obviously realizes that these probably don't have AT. They're happy to push straight in, but here comes that Ju-88 I was talking about. Is the M15 in line of sight? No, it is not. So that is not good news for Grey Fox. Looks like Grey Fox, or Tuukkaraski, sorry, had line of sight. And the KV-85 goes down. Who needs AT on your infantry when you got a Ju-88 in the sky? Nice kill onto one of the Chernos before they unloaded. That's one thing that Grey Fox has kind of got himself caught out by throughout this game so far, is just a lot of his infantry has been killed before it unloaded, which is a shame. Oh, nice hits there by the Androsha. Do manage to clean up the Stostrup and the Pioneers. But the Bugalight Pioneers, they're still alive. In this case, I think they're dead. As soon as the Gvardia start engaging them, the Bugalights are going to have to do a runner, and they probably won't live to see another day. Done very, very well though in that position for a very long time, holding back plenty of Grey Fox's infantry that he's been investing in that bottom side. I feel like at this point, Grey Fox is really, really running out of steam and resources. We don't really see any other tanks coming on the field. He's too busy having to reinforce with infantry, and wow, he's got Strafniki. Please don't tell me he's buying these in Phase C, or bringing these in Phase C on a Maverick. That would be pretty tragic, because it's only 80 points, and both of these Strafniki, they cost 40 points each. That is rough. Meanwhile, Tuukkaraski able to buy in a Stug and a couple infantry with every tick. He probably has maybe a Stug or two left, I guess. Got another Light Grenadier coming in, MG42. With the Tiger on the top side, quite happily keeping these Avtos and Chernos and Strafniki at range. Yak 9B coming in with the bombing run onto the Pioneers. Probably just pin them down, won't do too much damage. Two Avtos actually getting pretty close, but the Flagvilling. Oh no. A close range there. Mode just absolutely destroyed. These trucks. Very loud down here. Barely hear myself think when I zoom into those machine guns, but Citroen's engaging the Gvardia there. Su-85 trying to help out with some HE shells, but not going to be terribly effective, that's for sure. Two Me-109 G4s on the top side there. Not sure if they shot down any enemy forces, but we've gone back to 12 to 12. Grey Fox and Tuukkaraski evening things out. Not entirely sure where that would be, unless it was here. There was a flag taken back, or maybe further down. Maybe that's why the M15 was pushed down here. Either way, this infantry engagement still carrying on. Over time, I think the Gvardia will get the better of the Citroens at range. The Su-76 also moving in here. I wonder if Grey Fox is looking for a Stug 3 kill. Very, very risky move here from Grey Fox. It's quite an expensive vehicle to try and go for that trade, but here comes an Androsha strike. It's a little far forwards for my liking. But, wow. Okay, so he used a few rockets just to soften things up there. That's actually quite a nice move from Grey Fox. Very nice indeed, actually. Yeah, just used a few rockets, manages to clean up that infantry. Oh, you are kidding me. There's another big light Pioneer there. That is not very fun for Grey Fox to deal with. Oh, these Gvardia. No. They are so dead so quickly. Stug 3 engaging the Su-85. Misses twice. The Su-85 with the 2-star veterancy. Very accurate. Takes out another Stug there. Flakvilling still killing infantry though. How many Avtos have to die in these transports on the bottom side before Grey Fox realizes he can't just charge them like this, at least not with cover from smoke. And he does have smoke left in the Su-76. It's one thing I think he's missed out on. He's really, really impressed me with his knowledge of mechanics in this game, but that's just the one he's been missing. The SK-100 does manage to kill the Androsha there, and with those losses, well, looks like Grey Fox is going to surrender, and Tuukkaraski wins the game in 33 minutes and 8 seconds. What a game. That was honestly a very, very fun game to watch. 3,855 kills to 2,100 losses in the end. It definitely felt like Tuukkaraski from the end of Phase B had an advantage massively on the map. Like, there were so many more units on the side of Tuukkaraski. But I loved how Grey Fox was really trying to probe the defensive Tuukkaraski in the early game. Making the moves, especially on the top side, like pushed for the like mid top flag and then went, oh, I'll go for the top flag as well. Made Tuukkaraski kind of spread out his resources, but unfortunately Tuukkaraski was always getting value out of his units, whereas Grey Fox was losing a lot of stuff unnecessarily, and was pretty unlucky with the AA dying because the Ju-88s really did a number on him. But lovely use of the IS-1 to take control of that top side, at least. Was definitely a force modifier up there and allowed him to take quite a bit of ground. M15 killing the Ju-88 is quite nice there, but this Androsha, what a strike that was when he killed the Flakveling, Tiger, and Stug 3G. That was a beautiful, beautiful strike, and the use of this Androsha was really good. Just a shame he got caught out there by the SK-100 of Tuukkaraski eventually. Su-85s, really, really good job. These are 60 points now, and they got loads of value. 2 Stugs and a Tiger going down. That is very, very good value for those units. But his infantry really didn't do too well at all, and that is because of these big light pioneers. And you can see the big light pioneers just chewing up Gvardia, Ognemachiki, Chernos. These ones killing Chernos, Gvardia, Sniper Gvardia. Like, this is just... it's not necessarily like the best value for money. Like, it is, of course, paying itself off 2 or 3 times over. But the biggest thing about this is taking away your opponent's availability. And in divisions where you have a Vanguard deployment type, your infantry availability is generally a lot more limited than it is in, say, Balanced. And so killing 6 units of infantry or 7 units of infantry is way more impactful than killing 7 units of infantry versus a Balanced division, for example. Flakveling did manage to kill 3 Yak-9Bs. Those Flakvelings are really, really strong. I don't know why, but they always seem stronger than SDKFZ-71s. Stug 3G kills the KV-85 there. Loads of Avtos dying before they unloaded. It was a real shame to see that again. I think if Grey Fox remembered smoke, those Avtos could have got into that heavy cover on the bottom side and really, really caused issues with Tuukkaraski, but they weren't allowed to do so. And Tuukkaraski's use of these Stugs in general was very, very strong. Hitting an ISU there, ZSU M15, KV-85, really good Stug 3. Ju-88s, of course, getting 3 KV-85 kills there. Oh, it's rough. It is rough. But of course, Tuukkaraski took care of the AA and then exploited that with the use of his AT planes. So I think in the end, Tuukkaraski really did a good job of breaking down Grey's plays. I think Grey made too many mistakes and definitely paid for it in this one. But a lovely, lovely game to watch. A lot of lessons learned, that's for sure. And yeah, great game all round. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Really, really big fan of that one. We'll be moving on to another game, round 2, in the 2nd Steel Division 2 Championship. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.